What when I start? We are live with Political Woodstock Media. We're outside the Tulsa County Courthouse. A verdict has been reached in the Robert Bates trial. Robert Bates being the then 73-year-old volunteer deputy that shot and killed Eric Harris in the streets of Tulsa. A dog would have had more respect than what A dog would have been given more respect than what Robert Bates gave Eric Harris. A verdict will be announced shortly at the Tulsa County Courthouse. Because it has been reached so quickly, there is discussion that it is a guilty verdict. Again, not confirmed in the Robert Bates trial. A possible guilty verdict in the trial of Robert Bates. The then 73-year-old volunteer deputy that shot and killed Eric Harris, a Tulsan, who deserved his day in court. Yes, it is loud. Who deserved his day in court. A verdict has been reached. We are standing outside the courthouse waiting for people to come out. Probably take another 15 minutes to seat the jury and then to announce the verdict. Waiting for response in the Robert Bates trial. The verdict has been reached. We were not able to get in the area outside the courtroom in time before the doors were locked. It's a spring-like day after a tumultuous night that we had before, where a tornado touched down, I believe, in West Tulsa. We had a stormy night. Winds were blowing to 80 to 110 miles per hour on the eve before the verdict of the Robert Bates trial. Let me check my levels. Let's see here, one moment. Let me get my playlist. I could play Doctor Who, but that's, no, can't play that. Audio. Have no idea what that is. Well, anyway, so here we stand. This time last year, people were protesting the smoothing over of the Eric Harris murder as if it never happened, as if it were justified. It was not justified. Robert Bates, it has been proven in court that he was asleep moments before he exited his unmarked vehicle with the Tulsa County Sheriff Department, having grabbed his unregistered firearm, approaching Eric Harris, who was detained on the ground, complying with the deputies, his hands behind his back, a deputy, with his boot on his upper torso and neck, another one holding his hands. For some reason, Eric Harris was murdered. There can never be a good enough reason. Never. I have worked with We the People Oklahoma in the grand jury process to ask for a grand jury investigation into the Tulsa County. Wait, I think I see Jeremy Lake's half-sister. This is surreal. Jeremy Lake being murdered also in Tulsa by an officer from the Tulsa Police Department, not the Tulsa County Sheriff. Is that Genevieve? Genevieve! Genevieve!
I don't think so, Mother.
Again, a verdict has been reached in the Robert Bates trial of the murder of Eric Harris. If it is not guilty, there may be some problems in Tulsa streets tonight after the Carrie Underwood is playing a concert. There are a lot of people in downtown Tulsa. Just a 3 to 5 minute walk from the courthouse. How will Tulsa respond as the Eric Harris family, the speaker, Andre Harris, implores people to stay calm and peaceful. Tulsa has a history of having the worst race riot on record in the United States of America. Again, a verdict has been reached in the Robert Bates trial, the murder of Eric Harris. Will the streets of Tulsa remain peaceful tonight? Time will only tell. It is our wish and hope that they will remain peaceful. All right. I'm just going to have to stay here and wait for let me check my Facebook items. Let's see here. Push this button, move that over. Let's see what is being said. Someone talking about why people are staying poor, medical costs. It's also easier to be poor. How is it easier to be poor, Melanie? I'm sorry. It's hard to have a surgery or an illness, chronic illness or not, in the United States of America. Again, we are waiting on the verdict of the Robert Bates trial, the murder of Eric Harris. A verdict has been reached and will be announced at the Tulsa County Courthouse, room 504, if you want to know specifically. Will the streets of Tulsa remain peaceful tonight if there is a not guilty verdict? It is questionable. As I said before, in Tulsa, we had the largest race riot in 1921, which the anniversary is quickly approaching at the end of May, beginning of June, of Tulsa's historic Greenwood area, also known as Black Wall Street. If I can take you back in time while we're waiting on the verdict. Now, let's see here. Oh my. Hold on one moment, Dylan. Looking for information. Seeing a lot of responses. Let me hit let's see, that's Lisa. Mark. Looking at some responses on Twitter, saying that the jury is still deliberating. The jury has reached a verdict, and it will be announced at the Tulsa County Courthouse. A verdict in the trial of Robert Bates, the man who shot and killed Eric Harris in the streets of Tulsa. Will Tulsa streets remain peaceful in the downtown area? Or will people who feel misaligned and tired of the system that is set up against them? Again, this was a white jury that is coming forth with their verdict. And as I see someone from Facebook commenting, saying, I heard they reached a verdict after 3 hours. If they did it this quick, I bet this isn't conviction. I can only hope and pray that this is a conviction. Unfortunately, what has happened is that a number of the evidentiary documents have been censored. They were not allowed into the court. They were not allowed into discovery. The ones that were allowed into discovery were then, of course, the defense. Questioned them, even though it was some information from Tulsa County Sheriff Department itself, and the horrible, the embarrassing Sheriff Glanz provided some of this information as himself. Of course, he was shamed into resigning from Tulsa County Sheriff in September 2015, having been indicted by the grand jury, and 3 indictments. One was suppressing evidence in this Robert Bates, sorry for the noise, the Robert Bates case, and dipping his hands in the coffers of the Tulsa County Sheriff. Of course, he should be embarrassed, but wouldn't you know, when December rolled around, this horrible person, formerly known as Sheriff Glanz, tried to run for sheriff again, and had a come to Jesus moment with the Republican Party. Again, a verdict has been reached in the Robert Bates trial with the murder of Eric Karras. Such a short changing of, how do I say? Well, it looks good that it's in such short time. Did you hear the verdict had been reached? Did you hear what it was? No, we're stuck out here too. They close the doors at 5. If you can get in, you give it a try. They got deputies up there. I would try there. What channel are you with?
I'm with Frontier.
Well, see Ziva if she can get you in. I tried to get in through Mark and I couldn't. We're thinking that Robert Bates will come out this area.
Come in and go upstairs. Alright, we just want to put the camera in the truck and we'll be back up there.
They're not letting people in to the courthouse. Oh, sorry.
Alright.
Verdict has been reached.
Alright.
That big trial of Robert Bates, they reached a verdict. And it was a short, under 3 hours. So usually that means a conviction. I'm on my podcast live, just to let you know. Still looking to see if people are... You think we can get in? Yes? No? Do you think we can get in? At least this is a nice place to sit. Well, they're cautious because of that. That's a big trial.
We got all the way down there, in the door, and you can't have cameras in the VMA Center for the concert.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, that's too bad. That's unfortunate. But for all their functions, they do not allow anything that can film it. You have to hide it in your boobs or something. You might be able to try that. You might be able to shove it underneath.
Well, my son took my camera bag.
Oh, okay. Wait, it looks like you can probably slide it underneath, maybe.
This one.
You can put, who's going to search there? Honestly. Unless they have one of those wand things. I don't know.
Look, it's my house.
Tonight is the Carrie Underwood concert. People are walking to it. It is a short walk from the courthouse. But will the streets of Tulsa remain civil tonight? Will there be an uprising if he's found not guilty? It is important to note that the Andre Harris, the brother of Eric Karras, implores the public to stay peaceful. He is a minister. He's a good minister, by the way. Really good minister. Are there people coming out? Did you hear what the verdict was in the Robert Bates trial?
No, we were doing something else on another phone.
Well, they reached a verdict. Yeah, I heard 20 minutes ago they reached a verdict, so they have to sit the jury and all that. So I don't know who yet.
Yeah, no, I haven't heard word.
I didn't get here soon enough to get in before 5, so. You think they'll let us in if we talk nice? I doubt it. They have a lot of press up there. That outfit looks so comfy. Looks very comfortable. Get to people watch today as we wait to find out what the verdict of the Robert Bates trial is. Let's take a look. Alright, one moment here. Lynn Chasey. Did you guys hear what the verdict was in the Robert Bates trial? They reached a verdict in the Robert Bates trial on the 5th floor?
I would imagine there'd be a bigger buzz going on down here if they had.
Okay, well no, they're seating the jury. They did reach. Pardon?
The jury has come back into the court.
With a verdict already.
Oh, I don't know the answer to that question.
Well, I think it looks good for the Harris family. Let's see here.
So he takes the stand and he gets put under oath and says this is my normal hours.
See if there's any more posts today. Again, Carrie Underwood is playing at the BOK Center. Okay. Yes! He was found guilty. Found guilty. And sentenced to 4 years in prison. That's my child. I am so glad he was found guilty. Robert Bates was found guilty. And he was tickled to death, is what he said in front of the elevator.